Donald Trump tried to get out of a chair and only wound up proving to the world just how weak he is. You're going to want to stick around and see this video so you can start your week with a smile. It's Monday, and MAGA just spent the entire weekend doing to America what an unattended golden doodle does to a pillow. So let's take a look at the lowlights. That way we can laugh together and then go cry by ourselves. As is tradition, Donald Trump started the week by proving to the world that his little walnut-sized brain is one good sneeze from being ejected completely from his body. Speaking to a group of farmers in Wisconsin, Donald Trump addressed their concerns about high fertilizer and diesel prices by bragging about the hundreds of millions of dollars he's spending on monuments around Washington, D.C. And while he was doing all this bragging, he was unable to recall the name of the Washington monument.
Washington, D.C., between the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington, just think about this. You know that beautiful spire in honor of the great George Washington?
Then President Art of the Deal so masterfully negotiated peace in the Middle East that Iran fired missiles at Israel. Trump showed his unmatched power and control over our allies by telling Israel publicly not to strike back, to which Netanyahu replied, "What's that? Huh? I'm going through a tunnel. Sorry, can't hear. Go through it." And then immediately returned fire. Trump also announced this weekend that, despite the fact he cares about basketball about as much as he cares about Eric, that he would be attending tonight's Knicks game, which of course means that the long-standing practice of allowing fans who couldn't afford tickets to have a watch party outside Madison Square Garden had to be suspended for his security. This combines Trump's two favorite things into one, making everything all about him and also hurting poor people. The big story of the weekend was Donald Trump sitting down with NBC's Kristen Welker for an interview. Now, Welker didn't ask him any gotcha questions. She didn't ask him a question like, hey, can you give us a name of one of your grandchildren? Or can you tell us what the three branches of the U.S. government do? No. She asked him a question that someone who has been shouting incoherently about rigged elections for almost a decade should be able to answer off the top of his head. She just asked him, Mr. Trump, where's the evidence? And of course, he had no evidence to give. So he did to the interview what Stephen Miller does to any stray kittens he finds around the White House. He ended it angrily. Now, newspapers all over the world have already reported on Trump's petulance. However, not enough people are talking about the big story to me, which is how he got out of the chair. You gotta see this video. By the way, my name's Jay Black. I'm a comedian and I do 2 videos about news and politics every single day. If you like what you're seeing, please consider subscribing. Donald Trump disappeared for 7 days, and when he returned, his eyes were puffy, his schedule was light, and all of his appearances were seeded. All right, now, take a look at this furious man trying to make a bold statement by angrily exiting this interview, and you tell me if you see what I see.
We traveled all the way to Wisconsin for this interview.
I've seen cats wake up from a nap faster than that, okay? That was more unsure than my son parallel parking our minivan. That was shakier than a Jell-O mold on top of a washing machine on bulky bedding day. What is going on with this man? Look, old men have a hard time going down steps and getting up out of chairs. That's just a normal part of aging. But when you combine it with the memory loss, the sudden disappearance, the need to be seated all the time, the answer to what's going on is as obvious as Trump's giant cankles. The man is unwell. And it's high time that someone in authority starts to look into the question of whether he's also unfit.